Does your hair look like this when you apply product? Does your hair take 10 minutes to get wet and 2 to 3 business days to dry? If the answer is yes, I'm going to share 5 things that you need to stop doing to your low porosity hair. What's up curlies, it's your girl Kiki, and if you are new here, I do all things curly hair tips, product reviews and styling. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that you need to stop doing to your low porosity hair in order to see better hair growth and a little bit more health overall. So let's get into the video. Number 1, skipping a shampoo. Shampooing too often has a little bit of a stigma amongst the natural hair community and curly hair in general. For some reason, when we were growing up, we were told that hair that is dirty grows faster and better. For what reason, I do not know, but this is a complete myth. Hair does not grow better when it's dirty. Hair definitely grows better when you have a nice, clean, fresh, healthy scalp in order for it to grow from. And this is particularly important when it comes to low porosity hair, especially in terms of build-up, because if you do not know already, low porosity hair is prone to build up very easily. With the fact that its cuticles lay tightly packed, it does tend to let products sit on top of the hair shaft and not absorb as easily as medium or high porosity hair would do. So for this reason, we need to have a good shampoo regimen. I would recommend always shampooing at least every week or every other week if you maybe are wearing some sort of protective style, but not skipping shampoos for weeks and weeks on end. It definitely is not going to help your overall hydration of your curls, and it probably won't enable your products to do what they need to do. So maintaining a good shampoo and conditioning regimen is really key to seeing your low porosity hair thrive. The second tip you need to stop doing is using unrefined butters and oils on your hair, such as shea butter or coconut oil. Both of these are definitely not a good thing for natural hair overall, and especially low porosity. They do just tend to sit on top of the hair shaft, and if you've used coconut oil before straight out of the jar, you'll know that you have to kind of melt it down to put it on, and then if the temperature changes and it gets a little bit cold, that will start to harden again on your hair. And I've done it before. I've made the mistake of even putting it on my scalp and then wondering why there's these little tiny bits of oil and flakes on my scalp when it was the coconut oil. So unrefined butters and oils are a definite no-no for low porosity hair. And in general, I do not think you do need unrefined butters and oils on your hair, even if it is medium or high porosity hair, to be honest. We can go with more refined oils that we find in actual products, where they are actually broken down into molecules that are small enough for our hair to penetrate really efficiently. We don't need to go down the organic route for that one. The third thing that you need to stop doing for your low porosity hair is overusing products that contain protein. This is particularly important if you have a low porosity girl who is a little bit sensitive to protein. If you're wondering why your hair might be a little bit brittle or dry or maybe breaking off, you need to check your product stash and make sure that your products do not have lots and lots of high amounts of protein in them. The higher the protein is to the top of the list, the more it will have in it. Some useful proteins for low porosity hair are things like silk amino acids and rice protein, or anything that is really like a hydrolyzed protein that is smaller. Not so much keratin and the stronger proteins like that. They are definitely more for like your repair and reconstructive treatments. But we can still use proteins intermittently within our regimen. Just keep an eye out for those things if you are experiencing a bit of protein overload. On the flip side, that moves me on to number 4. You need to stop avoiding protein at all costs. Now, like I said before, not all low porosity hair is sensitive to protein. You might be one of the lucky ones who can get away with doing a protein treatment every other week or at least every month and it not even have an effect on your hair. And for this reason, you need to be mindful of how your hair is holding up and how strong it is, because hair is made up of keratin and that is a protein. So if your hair's feeling a little bit weak and a little bit brittle, you may need to consider doing some sort of protein treatment and adding it into your hair care regimen, just to make sure you've got that balance of protein and moisture, because too much of one thing is never good. We like to stick in the middle with a healthy balance. Tip number 5, what you need to stop doing for your low porosity hair is using cold water. If I had a pound for the amount of times I heard a low porosity curly say they hate cold water, I would definitely be rich by now. Low porosity hair does generally tend to like warmer water. That doesn't mean boiling hot, that just means warm or lukewarm. And the reason for that is because low porosity hair cuticles are tightly packed and closed already, warm water opens them up a little bit and cold water does the opposite. So in terms of applying products on wash day, we always want to make sure we are using warm water prior to any product application and during our shower, or rinsing off any conditioner that we may have on our hair. This is completely different to someone who is medium or high porosity, who may favour using a bit of a cold rinse at the end of their wash day, but low porosity curlies definitely need to stay away from using cold water and trying to enhance their wash days. Even doing a little refresh or a little moisturising the day, couple of days after your wash day, you want to make sure your spray bottle is filled with nice warm water. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in more of my talks on porosity and other things that you need to stop doing to your low porosity hair, or if you may have multiple porosities on your head and you're confused with where to start, just click the thumbnails at the end of this video and I will see you in the next one.